Okay, and then started the trilogy with Riddick Bowe, who I also interviewed. Bowe was only 25 years old at the time. You were 30, so he was a little bit younger, but not a huge age difference. He had won the silver medal in the '88 Olympics. That first fight was brutal. Round 10, they called it the round of the year. What happened in round 10?
Well, the big thing with Bowe, he the first person I realized that I didn't do what my mama told me to do.
Okay.
So my mama told me, she said, don't become friends with nobody you're going to have to compete. She said, son, when you're friends with people like this, you tell them things that you shouldn't tell them because y'all talk about everything. He said, don't do that. So, so when I lose that fight, I realized, I said, man, Bowe used to be my sparring partner when he was an amateur. Mm-hmm. He was amateur, he was good.
Yeah.
He used to be my sparring partner, and I helped him out with his little son and all this because I had money and stuff like this, and I was just real good. But me and Bowe were just real good friends. We talked about everything. Then all of a sudden,
you got to fight him.
I got to fight him, and cause he'll constantly joking with me, and I'm joking with him. He come up to me when the fight get ready to start, and he said, "Let me tell you something. If you don't run, I'll knock you out." Mm. So I'm like, oh, so I realized me and him sparred so many times and all this and stuff like this. Now, Bowe is a good fighter. He can fight inside and outside. Mm-hmm. But Bowe used to run out of gas. I was able to run Bowe out of gas. I make him fight fast and he'd run out of gas.
Yeah, but not this fight.
But you're right.
Well, Evander wanted to prove that he was the best. And I had the opportunity to prove that I was the best. And nobody wanted to give up. So that's why the fight became one of the greatest, or rounds, one of the greatest rounds in heavyweight history. I had him doing the funky chicken. You seen that? That was the funky chicken.
I was landed on, we just barely, he got the best.
Yeah.
So when the fight was over, I know he had won.
Well, you got knocked down in the 11th, which is your first, what I consider real knockdown.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, 12-round unanimous decision.
Yeah.
And it was fair. You didn't get robbed, nothing. You won fair and square.
I never said nothing and all this and stuff like this. And so now I was mad with Bowe, not for the fight. I'm mad with Bowe because he didn't take the fight with Lennox Lewis. And he chose to take another fight. So what he did, he took the money down. I'm saying, when I became the heavyweight champion of the world, this was the highest time anybody made big money. I made more money than everybody. Mm-hmm. And so Bowe take the money down.
Yeah.
He go into I think a $3 million fight, but he win and all this and stuff. And so he had to fight me again.
Well, I mean, that first fight, that was your first professional loss.
Loss, right.
How did it feel?
Well, my whole thing, as bad as that everybody may have thought I felt, I was like saying, wow. When I got out there, I said, wow, how about that? God, dog, I said, man, I got a lot farther than I actually thought. I'm saying, undisputed in 2-weight division, was undefeated in all this. I felt that I did good, but it just ain't time for me to quit.
Yeah.
I said, so I get it next time.
Right.
I'm saying, I forgave myself. I'll get him the next time.
Get back into it.
Yeah.
Right. And by that time, you were a household name. You were doing Coca-Cola commercials.
Yeah.
You had your own video game. Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing. And by the way, I remember I talked to Tyson, because the biggest boxing video game of the era was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I mean, people still talk about that. And I remember we had talked to Tyson about how, he just didn't sign a great deal for that. He got some money up front, but it ended up selling millions and millions and millions of copies.
They gave you $50,000 for a 3-year deal with no royalties, but they made like 1.7 billion to like.
Hey, that was a bad deal, but I don't think it was 50 G's. It was 1.2 point something in that range. But still in all, it was just a really bad deal. I didn't know anything about businesses, anything, and what the hell.
Right, bad business move.
For your Sega Genesis boxing game, did you get royalties or you just got a check?
I got royalty.
Okay, good. So you made out well with that.